Hey everyone, it is Quentin Hamp with Vectus Marketing, and welcome to Casual Fridays, where we bring our t-shirts and wear sunglasses. All right, enough for the YouTube algorithm. Let's dive into Springfield, Missouri's market on plumbers and who's at the top, why they're there, and what you can do for your plumbing business to move it up higher. So right here at the top, we see the ad section. This is a paid section here, and of course, Roto-Rooter, big national company, they're putting some good money into that to take that spot. Doesn't leave a lot of room for the local guys to compete as much. Since they're up against these big national companies. Same thing down here with the maps, got some really great map section. And now this map section is skewed a little bit to the west edge of town because that's where I'm at right now. So unless you're a very strong company, probably not going to show up on my maps. It's going to skew more towards where I am sitting right now here in Springfield. And then down here we have our other listings. We have Yelp, BBB, Angie's List, and then finally we come to a local company here with Connelly Plumbing. So good job on Connelly, guys. Here I'm going to give you some big tips for moving up higher in Google on this video. Okay, so this is kind of our layout. Now let's get into the data. What I like to start off with is this tool, and this tool shows me behind the scenes the competitiveness of the market. And down here it's a 13, which is medium. To give you an example of scale, if you are in the roofing market in Kansas City, that's a 15. If you're in the roofing market here in Springfield, that's a 7. So right here, 13, you're almost as difficult to be a plumber in Springfield as it is to be a roofer in Kansas City. So I'll let you do the math on that and figure out which one's making more money. I certainly know which one is more underappreciated, and that's the plumbers. So anyhow, 13 is a little bit more competitive niche to play in. Just be aware of that as you come into trying to do organic ranking and making it to page 1 in Google. All right, here's the CPC. If you want roofer, Kansas City, Missouri, that's going to be $15 per click. Here in Springfield, it's running $19 a click to be a plumber. So CPC, paying for ads, paying for visibility, going to be very expensive. So you got a couple things working against you, certainly not overcomable. But just be aware that this is a great thing to supplement with other advertising ideas as well while you're waiting for this to take off, unless you have a big ad budget you can play with. All right, here's some other keywords and things we can look at. If you are playing the ad budget game, something to consider doing is bidding against your competitors' keywords. So when they search DeLong plumbing, they actually see your brand, and that can be a little cheaper than going for the plumber term directly. So keep that little play in mind, a little way to get your edge in there and get some more business. Especially right now, this is shot in 2021. There's a lot of work there's a lot of work to be had, and a lot of homeowners and contractors who are anxious for available plumbers to come do their work. So you can kind of get in those wings and take some of that overflow work. All right, what you're looking at on my screen right now is a rundown of the top rankings in Google, and it has some added data. And this is a very critical piece of the Google algorithm. So right here we see BBB, Yelp, Angie's List, and Home Advisor taking the top 4 spots, which is rare for a local market. Normally you see some local guys in there, and that shows that our local guys really haven't done as good of a job with their promotion work, and they're leaving a lot on the table because they should be able to be up. We should have somebody at least a number 2 up here. And we see here domain rating. So this is the number of backlinks that are linking into a website. BBB is huge. There are, millions of websites linking to them. And so they have a large domain authority, a lot of trust in Google. Down here we have Connelly Plumbing with a measly, in quotes, 6, holding their own, doing a great job, showing the big boys what for. So, domain rating is a little bit relative. If you do the other things right, you can really compete in an outsized way, even if you have less domain authority. The other thing we can look at is how many backlinks are going to an individual page. Now, with these big guys, since they have so much domain authority that they're passing to their page, they don't need a lot of backlinks coming in. Down here, our local hero has 59 other websites talking about them. And that's a pretty big figure, because having enough other people talking about you in a good way, especially if they're good sites, good local sites talking about you, that helps you move up higher in Google. So that's the first takeaway, is to make sure that you're getting your site promoted on local websites, local classifieds, directories, sports teams, places where you can get your brand name mentioned. That's going to help you move up more in Google. So that's kind of your first takeaway, something to look at there. If you want, let's take 2 seconds and see kind of how they're promoting their website. We can look at some of their backlinks and just see what they're doing right. So right here we have some of their backlinks. You see that they're a big sponsor of the Sertoma Chili Cook-Off. I actually haven't gone this year with the the coronavirus going on. So this is a great little sponsorship thing. They're going to have a mention on their website. They're helping the community, but in return, they're getting that little boost for their own website. Expertise.com, if you're not on expertise.com, definitely consider getting on there. They've joined the Springfield Chamber, great place to do it. Every Springfield business should be doing that. And then they're in Yellow Pages. They're supporting the Springfield Museum. So you see kind of right here, you can pause the screen, take a quick look at it and see the areas that they're supporting. And in return, that advertising has helped them move up in Google. So a really great play there, great reward for being in the local community, helping and supporting the local community. Hats off to them. Well done here. Let's take a quick look at what they can do better. So looking at this website, very attractive website, right? It's clean, strong authority play right here. You know that they're trusted, right? They somehow can park their cars in front of Hammond's Field and take a picture. So, you know, they have to be trusted on some level. And, you know, they have all these trust signals here, which is great, but there's not a lot of content. You know, if you look here, there just isn't much content here. So Google is saying, hey, they have really great backlinks coming in. They have Springfield, Missouri up here in their title. You see that pop up on my screen. It says it's heating and air in Springfield, Missouri. And they have Springfield, Missouri down here, right? So they have, Google's pretty sure that this is about Springfield, Missouri. However, there is not a lot of content to play off of. And if I can just, you know, counter that with an example of a site that does better content. This is a client that I've worked on in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And they're number one call plumbing. And if you hop in here and look at their site, we've done a lot more content on their page. And that just helps Google know exactly what's going on. And then we've also fleshed out the rest of the website with a lot of content to further give those authority signals. And it's that 1-2 combination that helps a website get up there in Google and to have a strong position that lasts year after year after year. And what this means is once you're at the top of Google, you're not having to continue to pay for those costs per clicks. I mean, you can if you want to, but you have the organic rankings, and then you're saving this 19 bucks per month or per click. And every new guy who wants to come into your industry either has to compete in Google and get up higher or spend an exorbitant amount to buy clicks. And you're just sitting there instead taking in the income, you know, through recessions, through the ups, through the downs. You have a strong lead flow in there in Google. And that's what Connelly has built for themselves. So kudos on that. And I think this is a great niche to look at because we get to see the sites that are doing some things really right and still have some opportunities to take it even further and to get even further up in Google. All right. So this is the same principle. We could go through every site on this list, and it comes down to getting good local mentions and having really great helpful content that the bots can understand on their website. And those two things are what end up moving the site up in Google. If you would like a review of your site, you can hop on here and I will do a free SEO analysis manually for your website and talk to you about that, what it would take to you, costs we'd be looking at to move you up into Google. Also, if you want just a complimentary SEO audit, this is an automated tool that shows you problems with your website. It's on the middle of my webpage, vectusmarketing.com. Just put your domain in there and it'll send you over a report in about 15 minutes with the top things you need to fix on your website. Once again, thanks for watching. I hope this brings you more business and hope you have a great 2021.